Welcome to Wraparound the World, where we explore the incredible journey of Wraparound from its origins to its global impact. Join us as we delve into personal and community stories, meeting powerful individuals, families, and communities who have been transformed by this powerful approach. In this show, we welcome Henri Brown and Anthony Williams. They share about their beginning journey, powerful lived experience, what led them to Wraparound, and how they as leaders plan to continue to master the process and support their CARES model replication in San Diego.
Join us as we delve into the layers of bringing the wraparound process to all parts of the change. So welcome everybody to Wraparound the World podcast. We're glad to be back. Tracy with the National Center and my co-host or partner in crime, colleague that I'm was amazed that we're still doing this work together after all these years. But Jared is with me as well. Jared?
Yeah, welcome to the show, and we're glad to have you guys here. We've got guests from not only one of our replications, but some guys that I think are changing the game, and so I'm glad to have you here. We're also at the National Wraparound Conference 2024, and we had a pretty profound day. So yeah, a little bit about me. Why don't we throw the mic, Henry, will tell me here?
So my name is Henri Brown. I'm from San Diego, California, and I do wraparound services with the Family Support Liaison Program. Super honored and stoked to be here. It's been so fun so far at this conference. It's my first one, so
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Was it what you expected, or had no expectations, or?
I really didn't have any expectations, just came into this
Yeah.
very open and
Okay,
just
cool.
ready to soak up some game.
Cool. Well, good news. Good news. Wanna tell me what I did?
I'm Anthony. I'm from Watts, California, but I work in San Diego for the Family Support Liaison Program. So, doing wraparound services. Happy to be here. I'm very 2 conferences in 2 weeks, and it's all worth it. I'm just, first day went good. I'm happy to be here on Wraparound the World podcast. So, wrap around the world.
You got your own. You want to shout out your podcast?
Oh
real
yeah,
quick?
shout out my podcast. Good looking out, Jared. Jared always have my back, and Tracy. That's why I'm always show up whenever they say come through. The Lived Experience Zone. My podcast called The Lived Experience Zone. It highlights people with any type of resiliency or any type of like jewels that they found on their path to success that they want to share for other people. It don't matter what type of background you come from. I just felt I wanted to give people space to just what I call give the people the mic zone. It's like just give them the mic and let them just tell their story, like whatever they want to like talk about. So been doing that now for about 6 months. It's been going really good. So I'm on Apple.
Let's go.
All
And they're
of them.
good. And they're good.
Spotify,
All the
YouTube.
platforms.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm on
All
it.
right.
The Lived Experience Zone.
Let's go. Thank you. I'll just tell them maybe just a little bit more about like kind of what led you here and your wraparound journey. I know you're on some deep reflection. You said in the last couple weeks. Maybe you want to kind of get into it.
Yeah, I represent the formerly incarcerated, and education over incarceration community. So school has been very dear to my heart, as always loved school as a youth. But unfortunately, growing up in gang-infested neighborhoods, you have to choose, survival over trying to go to school. So I found a passion back for that. Started climbing up this education path. I had a associate's degree in Black Studies, social work, undergrad. I have a master's in rehab counseling. Thank you. I've been trying to figure out where I was going. I've been doing rap services. Well, not rap service, learning about rap in school, but learning in school is just, you kind of do PowerPoints and you don't see it in real time. So it's like, okay, I know what that is. And then our director, Tanya Parson, was part of the same master's program. And then she seen me one day and was like,
Yeah.
she heard me speak or something. She's like, hey, you need a job? And I was like, man, I look dusty like that? And he's like, no, I need a rap coach. I need you to come here with the rap coach. I need you to do the rap coach. And I'm like, oh, I play football. I'll be the coach. Let's go. Let's get in there.
We're most.
You got no. I was like, let's get in there. I was like, all right, just cheer for the team. Come on, we can build them up. And got in there, and then she told me that she had, reached out to you guys' program, and I was doing the training, and I was like, oh, I get certified too. So I was like, oh, this on. So come in, trying to get the team together. So it's been a blessing since there. And then meeting y'all on, over the training, and then really just hearing about it, I was just like, yeah, that's what I want to do, because I think it's one thing growing up in like marginalized communities and trying to help people learn how to take care of themselves. And then with the master's program, that's one of the things is getting people working, getting them to careers, and then so that kind of like fit right in. Like, how do you get people away from um, like these marriages that people have towards the government taking care of them, and get them back with being self-sufficient. So I'm
Yeah,
happy to be here, man. For real, for real. This is surreal.
Project Rebound. Right?
Oh yeah, Project Rebound, SDSU Project Rebound is like, it's my heart, my passion right there. So I'm always trying to get people like involved in school. I think education to me, I think about even moms getting me up and saying, get up, you gotta go to school. Math, science, and social studies and all this stuff. I think now I realize that school is just uh, an area and a space to find your calling, find what you're good at, collaborate, meeting people, learn about different cultures and doing things. So I'm happy to be able to give that to my son, that's 4 years old, and just expose him to, a lot of different cultures, and letting him have an opportunity to see some of the things that I didn't get a chance to really experience. Well, yeah, shout out Project Rebound. Man, you've been there for me 100%. Man, I mean, um, yeah, I'm almost getting ready for that doctorate degree now. I don't know.
That's cool.
Getting a little
great.
thirsty right
That's
now.
great. That's great.
Let's go. Thank you, and thank you for being here. Real talk. And I'm sure we'll hear more. Henry, do you want to pick up and just maybe talk about what the work you guys are doing, and not you, a different, but like your contribution from your evolution perspective?
Yeah, so I kind of came into this. Initially, I was working with fathers. That's what I kind of started off doing. Parenting, basically more focused on like working on the human behavior aspect of it. Uh, a lot of fathers that we worked with at the time, they were like coming from broken families. They didn't have a father around. They had nobody, not even a father figure. And so they're just kind of throwing darts, anywhere
Mm-hmm.
in the dark, and just trying things out, seeing if they work. And then of course, other things come about. So a lot of fathers that were incarcerated coming back, re-entering back into the community. Fathers who are going through like rehabilitation, whatever substance of choice that they delve into, the distractions,
Sure.
I like to call it.
Yeah.
So yeah, just working with fathers is a pretty powerful thing for me, an eye opener thing for me on how important that role is to a family, to the family unit. It's really, really, it's key. So yeah, so I ended up one of my neighbors. He was actually working with the Jewish Family Services, and he told me about the job, and I was like, I don't know, I kind of like what I'm doing. So I was like, that's all good. Then a year later it comes around, he's like, hey man, like, still looking for people. And I'm like, all right, let me check this out. So I take a look at it, and I'm like, all right, this is a pretty big organization. They're doing their things. I see them out
Right.
there.
Right. We're not. Yeah.
Right. And then they're talking about this wraparound stuff. I'm like, all right, what is that? So just it was very intriguing. I had to come check it out. I think I hear people say it all the time, like, drink the Kool-Aid. Yeah, I'm drinking it.
Let's go.
So yeah. So that's how I ended up getting with Family Support Liaison Program. And it's wonderful because this aspect, you get to actually work with the entire family.
Right.
And I think that's super powerful, super powerful. Trying to get families to just build together.
What do you think what is the mission vision of the Family Support Liaison Program? Like, what is your guys's, if your dream came true, what would you guys think you accomplished? What's your mission vision?
I think if we could just create thinkers, like get families to think about, their situations, what it is that they're doing, and, try to set the bar higher from whatever or wherever they learned how to be a parent or be a family. Just be better, do better.
Yeah. Change the narrative.
Yep.
Let's go. Tracy, what are you thinking?
Oh, well, utilizing the CARES model, so strengthening families, whatever it takes. And I remember when we, kind of thought about developing that as a tagline. It was just, it's getting in, doing the work with wraparound, and that's what you're thinking about. That's what you're thinking about. Is just kind of going in and looking at a family, and I think about it when I hear. To me, I think about our some of the folks that came before us, Carl, and what is it that you're going to need? What is it going to take to make this happen, right? What is it going to? And for me, that's what ultimately what wraparound is. It's about being responsive and being there and kind of beginning to engage and help shift, change narratives for whole families. Keeping them together and kind of helping them change that narrative for themselves and getting them where they want to be. That to me sounds like what you guys are looking to do using CARES at Family Support Liaison. So I think it's great that you guys are there and a part of that change. Yeah, I think it's awesome. We're grateful that you're here. Yeah, grateful that you guys are here. Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
What would you add, Anthony? Sorry, Tracy.
Yeah, it's transformative. I mean, you can see the benefits from just being there and saying, hey, like, because a lot of our staff, a lot of our people, I mean, we're the only black, like, all black staff that I know, and I don't know nowhere else. Like, so I think it's a brilliant idea for JFS to get a program and to have people that deal with systemic like oppression or just having these historic like mistrust with people that may be coming in, like, because I know for me growing up in California, you heard of social worker, somebody said earlier today, and it was like right on point, like social work coming, you're thinking the police coming or something for your kids, and you're like, get out of here. So I feel really good to be having some social workers with the level of what I've learned from rap, just hands-on. It's like 10 times what they even understand. Sometimes they throw rap and say, I ain't saying I don't have training, but when I come in, I'm like, they're like, oh, can you do this? Like, no, we can do it together. We can collaborate.
Yes.
We can do it together. And it's just like, they kind of look like, what? And I'm like, yeah, this is, don't y'all do that too? And they're like, oh yeah, okay. So that feels good. Like even with the emails, since I moved into like the supervisor position, doing emails and kind of corresponding with them, like even on directs, you're like, oh, they respond back to you. And they didn't used to respond. I was like, yeah, we trying to, let's get all on the same team and then get them there. So I'm loving that, that process, trying to get them, because I don't know, it's troubling to me because I used to write referrals. When I run across a referral and it says 20-something referrals, and I'm thinking like, wow, they've been around this circle 20. And I'm saying, I know it happens, but I'm thinking like, we got something ain't clicking somewhere. We need to figure out what's going on because just something. I mean, whatever it is, let's just try different strategies. Right. So now we come back through. I'm like trying to see like what person had them, okay, what didn't. Let's look on it, respond on it. And just a little bit insight into Henri. When y'all first gave the rap information to me and I was training up the staff, Henri was the first person that was really ready to go. And he was like, get the CARES together. Like, and I was telling him about, we can go back in there and add more on to the strength and culture. And we was new to it. He was like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, add a little. Was right on point. So it was really, it's kind of surreal to be right here, sitting right here with him talking about it. Because he was the first person that was like, yeah, let's go. And then he was already doing it already, just from the whole intake process. And I was like, oh, he already got the gift. He's not making it seem like he's getting paperwork from. He got him involved in the process, like really doing the work. So it was rewarding to see that.
That's cool. We feel that same way with you guys, for just so you know. Like you know what I mean? Like you made us get excited and go back and be like, dang, did you see it? Yeah. Right. And same experience, like some of the materials that we submitted online, like in our certification, right? I get to read all of them, and there's certain people that stand out. It's glad to see. Will you talk to us a little bit more about hiring your community, Black community, to represent the program? And I want to reach it. Like you're right, there's not a lot of communities, and I'm sorry if I said that in any yucky way.
No, you did.
Yeah, okay, good. But going back to John Butchert and the Brownsdale programs, and this was with the idea in the 70s, right? So different world, but very similar world, I might say. They started to build their group homes, right? Their institutions. They tried to go after this idea of cultural competence. And maybe that was a version 1, and this might be like a version 2.0, like, a lot of years later. But what do you think kind of makes it work right there in San Diego? Or what are you building if it in the future? Or what do you think about just that whole concept? Knowing that it's not a lot done, but it's been seen and demonstrated in at least now 2 very important demonstrations. What do you think? And you have a minute to think about it. You need it too, but did that make sense what I said?
Run that back.
But just so if we didn't have the selected staff that we did, and we chose just whoever off the street, why do you think it's more special? What's the magic sauce that's working? Just reflect even on the process.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like a magic sauce per se, but you need people that can like engage like the crowd, engage the families, people who can understand. Like maybe they didn't go through, and in fact, they didn't go through exactly what that family went through, but if they can sit there and just be like, you know what, that didn't happen to me, but it made you feel angry. I know what it feels like to be angry. Okay, and like really like just like listen. Yeah, I think a lot of these families need somebody to listen to them, to give them the time, and somebody that's gonna actually believe in it. Like I think that's so important.
That's it.
Like families will I've been told myself, like, hey, nobody believed in me. You're here all the time. You're calling, you're
Right.
meeting with us.
I told you to stop coming.
Right.
I jumped the fence last time.
Yeah. Yeah, trying to shake you, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, hey,
Yeah.
you're still here, you're still showing up. And like something about that is so powerful. It helps them find their value in themselves, and they wanna get up and do something.
Something I appreciate recently heard was this idea of like you can't take a program from one county and then put it in the other. You got to build with the people in the community and the folks and the mentors, the pastors in the community that's already there. And as you were talking, that's what I was seeing. Like you don't have to jump over this bridge of like who is that guy? It's like no, you live here too. You're from here. And
Right.
immediately there's barriers that like maybe not gone but lowered. I think. You want to add?
Yeah, it's a couple of things. Like I know, like when I was like issuing referrals, knowing they was going out meeting families, and they don't come back with them enrolled. Sometimes I'm like, that's impossible.
Yeah.
Like, what did you tell them?
Right.
You
Right.
mustn't tell them. You mustn't tell them we was here to help them. Like, what did you say? Because I couldn't imagine somebody, because we do the little bro check, like, what's up?
Yeah.
Like, what's up? Like, then you good? Okay, cool. You're here to help. So I'm like, what did you tell them? Like,
Yeah.
we're here to help. And I'm like, okay. But then also understanding too that just because we all may look alike, we all have different individual paths and whatever. So you come
Sure.
in, knowing how to check those biases. And I think that's one thing I'm really guarded on is listening for them. It's like, okay, did you check this out? Check that out. Like this, because issuing referrals is very schematic too. You want to make sure you try as best you can to match them up and, and check in with them. Like, is that good? Like, how's that going? Like, what support do you need? Like this,
Yeah.
and if it don't work, just say we can move it around. We can work it out. So I just enjoying that process, and then if I can expand on a little bit what Henri was saying, like the listening, but then the active listening, like just listening, really listening from the heart, because and you can be listening and not really catch something. It's like, okay, let me slow that down. Like, what does that look like? How does that work out? Then also understanding something that Henri been helping me work on a lot is staying really simplistic with learning. How do people learn? How do they like what's their love language when you trying to ask them something? Like some people may not be able to verbally articulate it. Like maybe you can get them to draw it. Like what is it? Even with the vision statements, y'all was telling, okay, you can't say it. Like can you just paint a picture what it look like?
Right.
Let me see, and then we can add a narrative to that. So it's
Right.
just like I enjoy that. One thing I don't like is they only give us 4 to 6 months to work with them. So I kind of don't like that. So I got to just work with what we got and just. But it's like the Bible say, not get into religion. Like one person plants, another person tills, somebody water, and
Right.
somebody else reap the harvest.
Yeah.
So you just
Exactly.
try to do your part
Yeah.
and keep it moving.
I love that. I love that perspective of you saying, well, you they didn't say they didn't like what
Yeah.
happened, right? and I remember kind of early on with people that maybe when I was working within the program and maybe shifted or came from a different maybe program that kind of came into mine, and I was like, that's we don't do that here. Right? So I'm gonna give you an opportunity to go back and try that again.
Hey, go get
Because
it.
I can count on one hand how many times people have said no. So I'm gonna give you a chance to come back and let's try that again. Yeah. So, but
Right.
yeah, right. So, and I think it kind of sets up a new,
Yeah.
kind of new dynamic around what is happening and what it is, and maybe some of those things are training and other things too. But it really sets up that expectation around what does this look like even for me if someone came to me around this, right? And how would I want that to look? And just some thought provoking things, but I just appreciate that you do that because sometimes I think people don't even do those things. But it's me because it's my I told you before you came over here what this job was going to be like. Now I warned you, so this is me. So this is what this is. So yeah, that's not what we do here. Yeah, we'll try that again.
All right.
Yeah, so yeah, that's awesome.
When you talked about John and Carl, and some of our legend early pioneers,
Yeah.
discoverers, they started off with unconditional care. Like these were, and Carl talked in a recent interview, or was it in the book too? I don't know. About like they started working with infants that were exposed to AIDS at birth, and they talked about like the survival rate, and they talked about, well, so what are people doing for them now? And they're like, nothing. They're like, well, can we start with diapers? Can we start with milk? Can we check in on the moms? Unconditional care. What does it really look like? And so, would you say, like, it would be hard, it would be really hard for me to say no, push away. If somebody was like, hey, look, like, I ain't here to change you, tell you, make you nothing, but I got two hands. And, like, how can I help?
How can I help?
And then let them try you. Like, I had kids like, oh, I want tennis shoes. Oh, you know what I mean? They wanted Jordans. Okay, let me go see what I can do. And then you somehow show up some way. And now that, that support, that relationship. Anyway, what do you
No, because I remember coming off the training and one of our staff was like, Jerry was telling me to take him pizza and all this stuff. I ain't taking a pizza. And I was like, yeah, that's what we do. And they was like, for real? I was like, yeah. Bring the receipt back. Go. They need dinner. I said, are they enrolling? Okay, you need to go. They want help? We need to go help them. Like, what time? Oh, they gonna get off work till 6. All right. Flex the schedule. Start a little bit later, and then you get there, bring the receipt. It was like, okay, all right. And they just immediately started buying into it. Because it's like, my motto is like, invest in people. You know what I mean? Like, not invest in things, like people. Like, just show them that you're there. Like, when people see you there, even as a youth, like joining the gang and stuff like that, it was like, I had no father household. It was like, I didn't have nobody there. I was looking for that. Like, and I always didn't trust people because it's like everybody, as a kid, you don't really know people have problems and stuff going on.
But real, yeah.
You still want to be able to differentiate, what's real and what's not at some point. So it's like, just keep showing up. Just keep letting them see you. Like, eventually something might click. So I really like that. And then even me, I didn't even know we couldn't talk to people after we unenrolled them. I was like, yeah, you can still keep helping them. And like, no, we can't bail them. We're liable for stuff now. Because I didn't know that world, because I didn't come from that world. I come from like, you help them. Like,
Right.
It's like, no, we can't. I was like, okay, I got to go back to the rap board. Let me see what's going on. Let me know what I'm working with. Okay, so
there's cheat code on that though too. Start a parent group and hold it for the whole community and have it every Wednesday night. And invite the whole community, right?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
And I think also too, it's if they've unenrolled, they know that. Well, for me, what I would say my experience has been is when they're ready or when it's right, they know where to come because we've laid that seed and lived it right. And so, you know what? I'm gonna go back to Mr. Anthony because remember he was there, or his folks or people, I remember I was working with the young lady, her name was Angel, and they'd always come back and say, she was an angel. It's our person. I know it's not spiritual. Yes, it's the person. It's one of my staff. It's Angel. It's one of my staff. Calm down. It's just a person. It's just a staff person. They're just remembering that she was helpful. It's all right. But because of the way you made them feel, the way you treated them, right? And so maybe it isn't right now, but it's right. It's what's happened right before. And so, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So a part of the cheat code of rap, because it's what we do. It's how we show up, and it's what we're doing. is what you all are doing.
There's so many things I want to talk about.
Right.
We're gonna move a little quicker, but I'm not taking the mic away. I want to just pause and say, what else you want to say?
I want to definitely say, kind of going off of what you said, Tracy. That's the beautiful thing about Wraparound. It's diverse. It's not a cookie cutter. You know, it's you can do whatever with it. You can be so creative and think outside the box. And some people you got to wrap around real big. You know, maybe some a little
Very well said.
tighter, whatever. But yeah, it's a great tool. It's a great strategy. I don't even want to call it a tool.
Let's
Like
go.
it's
Miss Gladys in California calls it a ministry,
managed.
and that sets pretty
Love
good.
it. Love it.
It's its own, you know. When you go to like, I think it was in Canada doing some rap out there, and like their language for government and it's different stuff, and but they call it a ministry too out there. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. Yeah.
This is the way I live.
No, I'm just
What else you want?
honored, appreciate this. Like I said, this whole weekend has been epic. I mean, winning the Parent Partner Award, which I like to say is the team award because it's a collective effort of what we're doing as a team.
Yeah.
That was really big. So I'm really grateful for that. I still haven't set in yet, but I was just like, okay. So I'm grateful for that, to be there with the team, celebrate that moment with them, and just looking forward to what's next, man. Just waiting to see what's the next thing, you know. I'm good.
He wasn't joking about the whole state. There was 1,000 people on the stage. What was it like being on stage, and you had people bawling their eyes out, and you just said like you talked literally like a minute, and not even a long minute. Anyways, you don't have to answer that, but I just want to acknowledge that like that was even this little bit. A lot of people came up, and I look around the whole room, and people were just in tears.
Yeah.
It's real talk.
And when we see you, we see all of you. You're the whole team. It's like a family. It's like our West Coast family.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you. We see you. We see you.
Hey,
And we're grateful for your partnership.
thank you.
We'll hope to have you back,
Yeah.
either virtually or hopefully in person soon.
Yeah.
It means the world that you came on this, and we talked about some of the things we want to talk about, and some of the things we got to promo for the next one. So,
Yeah. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, real talk.